Hey, what is going on, everybody? My name's Luke, and today in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the new tank, specifically the Empire one. I might do another video on the Rebel one if this one does well and people like it. But yeah, we're going to be looking at its stats and different configurations that you can run it in, what I think is the best loadouts that you can use with it. We're also going to semi-look at movement on the table and stuff like that. So if you're new to the channel and you like this video, definitely subscribe because I do a lot of these kind of unit analysis. I'm trying to do some more battle reports, but the few that I've recorded recently haven't turned out good, so I'm trying to get good quality ones going. And I also do just some videos on tournaments and stuff like that, so check those out as well. And yeah, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so now we're going to be taking a look at the three different modes or loadouts of the Occupier tank that I think are like the best ones that you want to go to. These are like the main ones that you'll probably see in your games or anything like that. So starting off with the first one, this is like an objective focus and disruption focused loadout. It's only 160 points, and you're only taking the aim pilot, so basically the 155 base, and you just throw the aim pilot on there just because attacking reasons. It makes it better. So you're only gonna have the basic weapons, the 1 to 4 with 2 red, 2 black, and the 1 to 2 with the red and the black and suppressive. Now, the dice pool is a total of 3 black, 3 red, no surge. So without an aim, your net hits are gonna be about 3.75. So more likely than not, it'll be 4, but you also have those 3s in there. But with the aim pilot, every time you move, you get at least 1 aim. So that bumps your net hits up by actually a total of 1, which is a lot for only 5 points. So you're going to be looking at about 4.78 hits on average when you have that first aim from the move. And then if you get veers going in there with the spotter and you have 2 aims, then you get 5.36. So this one has impact 2, at the base. You're also on average going to roll about 0.96 just natural crits. That's with a name token, I believe, just 1. So what you're going to be doing with this one is just running it up in your opponent's face, just throwing it out there, not really caring if they shoot at it or if it blows up eventually. It's really just there to disrupt and maybe take over middle objectives. And also provide good cover for troops if you put them behind it, hard cover. Another thing that you can do with this one, since it's cheaper at only 160, you can afford putting like a snow squad in there and driving them up first round and then dumping them out and doing some fun stuff with that, not expected plays from your opponent. So yeah, that's what this one's focused on, just kind of like disrupting everything. Not really damage focused, just just getting in your opponent's face, maybe even overrunning some troops, just fully suppressive focused. Now the second one here is more of a core killer. It's 179 points, so you throw the surge pilot on there for 10 and you gain surge to hit. And then you also put the machine gun, the RTC Pintle rifle, for 14 points, and that gives you 4 more dice, so a red and 3 white. So now your dice pool is going to be 3 white, 2 black, 3 red, so total of 8 dice with a surge. Your net hits without a name are going to be about 5. I guess a little just under. And then when you get 1 aim from either just aiming or veers, you're going to get about 6, which is a lot. So pushing through heavy cover, you're going to be putting 4 hits through heavy cover. Now the key here is that it's focused. So instead, you could maybe take a couple core troopers over the tank, for the same amount of points. But then you have the static things like cover that will always take away from 2 from each attack pool, where this one, it's focused into 1 attack pool, so you only have to face it once. So that's just something to keep in mind. This one, you just kind of keep it at range 4 and just move and get an aim from Veers, or just aim yourself and just shoot. It does still have impact too, and the net crits on this one are going to be about 1.25. That's because you're rolling 8 dice naturally, and then if you have an aim, you're rolling another 2, so good chance for a natural crit, maybe even 2. So it's not even that bad at taking out tanks. But the next one is the focus tank killer. So this one, you take the aim pilot as well as the DLT, so the total is 178. It's actually 1 point cheaper than the core killer. Now this is kind of an important number. If you look at Luke Skywalker's points with force push and emergency stims, he's at 178. So with option 2, if it's like a sabotage and they're blue or something, they can afford to sacrifice Luke on a Son of Skywalker and just take out your tank. They would actually get a fair trade for it. So that's something to think about. Whereas this option, they're actually equal. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's something to throw in there. So this dice pool, we're looking at 2 black, 4 red at range 4 again. This time you don't have a surge, but you're always getting that aim because you're going to be moving with this one. And your net hits without an aim are 4, and then with an aim, you're looking at about 5. This one has impact 3, obviously, because you took the DLT, with about 0.95 net crits, so you're looking at about 4 hits against tanks. And most tanks in the game are just white saves with surge, so that's pretty good. If your local scene has a lot of armor, I would recommend running this one. But seeing as the meta right now is, just a lot of core troops and snipers and things like that, I would just go with option 2 as of right now. Or if you don't want to put all those points into it, you want to save 20 points or whatever, option number 1 is also fun. It doesn't even, it's not that much worse than option 2. It's only throwing like 1 less hit per attack, really, maybe 2 sometimes, but it's still pretty good. And you're saving 19 points. So here's a couple options. Obviously, you're not restricted to these. There's, you could do the DLT with the surge, but I don't think that's the best route to go with that. But you could do whatever you want. So that's what's great about the game as well. There's no one set configuration that you should be running all the time. Okay, so here I have just like a little demonstration set up. We have battle lines and we have rebel troopers set up over here. And I have the Occupier tank. So what you're going to do for deployment is, actually it's larger than 1 range. So you actually can't even deploy it fully like this. So you actually have to rotate it a little bit. And we're going to rotate it like this to get the full advantage. Oops. Let's just put it, yep, just like that. So we're going to deploy it right on the line. Now this might be kind of like a trap because, now you're exposing your rear, so you might actually instead want to deploy it like this. But for right now, we're just going to do a demonstration. So we're going to deploy it completely sideways, and you'll see why in a second. And let's say we had some snow troopers that we also put inside the tank. Oh, I guess it doesn't like that. Let's fix that. Get out of here. So let's just say that they're in the tank, I guess. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, they're pretty far away. They're 4. Range 4, so 24 inches away. So they're decently far. So the nice thing about the tank is that it gets a free pivot when it activates. So we can use that to our advantage. So now look at where we're actually gaining about, I don't know, an inch or so. So it's not huge, but it's not bad. Now the tank only moves speed 1, but its base is so large that it's gonna actually move quite the distance. So hit full, and I think, yeah, they did fix it. Okay. So there's the full movement. Now let's see how far away we are. Just over range 2. So if these guys had moved up at all, even slightly, they would have been in our range 2. So it's actually a lot faster than people think it is. And if we were to move again, you know, we'd be basically on top of them. But let's just go back. So now, if we had the snow troopers deployed in there, and then on their activation, now they get to disembark, which means you put them in base contact. So you're going to put them in front. Then you get a speed 1 move from the disembark. Now you could use the steady action off of this because the tank only moved once, but you could still move a second time. So you could move full, and then range, you would be in range 1 of their deployment zone. So you could flame and frag something before they even leave deployment zone. So it's deceiving that it only moves speed 1, but it's actually so fast. Like, this thing can move. So just a little faster than you might think. And you can throw these guys obviously in cohesion or whatever. But yeah, so that's something cool about the tank. Now you do have to be careful with the tank because its side points are the weak. So you got that 45, or well, technically 90, but 45 from the center line on each side. So if they're anywhere past this line, so anywhere over here, they get an extra impact 1. So snipers could easily, you know, pop you pretty good. But if you're coming at them front on, it's not too bad. And if you have something like this hill or a building like this, you can use it to your advantage to stop or mitigate that. So it's just some things to keep in mind. Alrighty, so hopefully you learned something about the tank that you didn't already know, and maybe you'll consider running 1 or 2 of them in your next army. I think they're pretty decent. We'll see if they're ultra competitive, but yeah, they're going to be fun no matter what. One thing I do want to mention, if you're not a part of the Legion Discord yet, definitely join. It's a great source for anything Legion. I think LJ is trying to do some new order tokens right now, so definitely hop on the Discord and check it out. Other than that, have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.